Everyone's well. My little rays of sunshine. Again, another big hello to anyone who's in Southport and Formby who were unable to make my usual face-to-face classes. Hello to anyone who has never attended my face-to-face classes. Maybe I'll see you in the future. So today's little video, I'm going to be concentrating on doing some strength exercises for your arms. Predominantly your bicep muscle, so this one here, your tricep muscle, a little bit for your shoulders, a little bit for your chest and the front of your shoulders as well. I'm going to be demonstrating these exercises stood up, but I will be showing you a variation. You can do them sat down if you want to, with the exception of the last exercise. It's a standing up exercise and it's a press up. I'm going to show you a modification on a press up, which has a multitude of benefits, which I'll come to later on. So, as always, if you're not feeling so good today, just please take it easy. You do not need to do as many as I do, or to the same extent as I do. If you feel unwell, or if you're not happy, or you just want to take a breather, then please take a breather. Have a sit down. You can pause the video, you can come back to it later on, or you can watch it another day when you're feeling a little bit more up to it. So as I say, I'm going to be doing the majority of the exercises stood up, but I do have my chair available behind me, just to show you a few little variations sat down. You'll also need some sort of weight. So if you've got your own dumbbell sets, little hand weights, then you'll need those today. If you don't have your own specific weights, like I say, dumbbells, you can use anything you've got kicking around the house, whether it's some tin cans or drinks bottles full of water, you know, the little ones with the drinks cap on the top. They're normally pretty good as well. So whatever you can, as long as they're sort of equal weight, there or thereabouts, that'd be perfect. So as always, we're going to do a little bit of a warm up, and then we'll get straight into what am I doing today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises. I've just got to check my notes, which are down here. 5 exercises, concentrating predominantly, as I say, through the upper arms, a little bit in the chest and shoulders as well. Okay, should we crack on? Take my weights with me. I'm going to go and stand over here. Okay, so if you are standing up, please stand up nice and tall. We're going to think about our postures. If you are sat down, same applies. You can still think about your posture. Whilst you're sat down, try and sit away from the back of the chair. We don't want any of this, please. You can relax later on once you finish your exercises. So we're sitting up nice and tall, or we're standing up nice and tall. And as always, we're just going to start off with a little bit of a march, just to try and get that circulation going. Warm you up a little bit, get some of the blood flowing through your veins, through your arteries, get your heart rate up, get your breathing rate up. As usual, if you need to, and you've got your chair nearby, you can always rest your hand just on the top of your chair, just for a little bit of assurance if you need to. Please make sure that you're swinging that other arm. And if you sat down doing this, same applies. So just moving those arms and legs, marching on the spot. I would, in a perfect world, like you to be doing this stood up, but I do appreciate that it's not always possible. Do try, you can alternate between the two. So if you do spend a few minutes marching on the spot, stood up, and you think, crikey, that's it for me today, and you sat down, that's absolutely fine. But do try and do as much as you can on your feet. That's where we spend our lives, isn't it? So these arm exercises today, to keep those muscles nice and strong. So when you are picking up your shopping, or putting your shopping away in your cupboards, or hopefully in the not too distant future, if you have to pick up children, grandchildren, obviously just trying to maintain that strength that you've got in your arms. So, are we feeling all right? So I'm just going to turn just side on. So as you're marching on the spot, do try and land on the toes and then roll towards the heel. So but from the ball of your foot to your heel, we're not landing flat-footed. You'll start to feel these muscles through the tops of your legs and then your hips working. Okay, with your arms, just going to reach out those arms to the front. If you are sat down doing this, it's exactly the same. Reaching forwards with your feet bobbing up and down. Nice and light on those toes. Again, you're not being flat-footed. Nice and light on those toes as you're reaching forwards. Okay, mind those shoulders because we're going to be reaching up now. So stretching up. And reaching forwards. And stretching up. And reaching forwards. And back to normal marching for me, please. How are we doing? All right. So we're just going to add a little bit of the different movement through the legs. We're going to do some little toe taps side to side. Just do the legs first of all, just to get it going, just to get your balance. So you're just reaching out through the toes. You're not, again, just not being, we're not stamping down. We're trying to be nice and graceful and delicate, just touching our toes down side to side, just to try and warm up the hips. And once you've got your rhythm, you can bring your arms into it. So when you step out, your arms come up and down. If you sat down doing this, it's exactly the same. So your feet are going side to side, your arms are coming up. Exactly the same. Hopefully, if you are sat down, hopefully you're still maintaining that posture. You've not slumped back into your chair. Okay, so keeping those feet going side to side, your arms are going to push away. Same if you're sat down. So a little bit of coordination. Now your legs are going in one direction, your arms are going in another. Back to curls. Got it? Pushing away. And back to curls. Okay. Keeping those legs doing what they're doing, your arms are coming out to the side. I call this the funky chicken. So your arms are bent, you're just bringing those elbows up to about the same height as your own shoulders. We're back to curls. And back to normal marching. Super job. Okay, I just want you to relax there. So whether you sat down, whether you stood up, nice and safe with your feet, so you're going to be about shoulder width apart. We're just going to roll one arm behind us, leading with your elbow, roll the other arm, and again. So almost like you're doing a kind of lazy backstroke. So we're just getting a little bit of rotation through your shoulders. You might get a little bit of a twist through your tummy, through your midriff. If you're doing this sat down, clearly it depends on your chair. If you sat in your armchair doing this, you're not going to be able to manage it because the arms are going to be in the way. So it does depend on your chair. If you are sat in a dining room chair like I am, and obviously I've got plenty of room to roll that arm around. Steady there for me. So nice and still with your feet again. Nice straight backs. One arm on top of the other. And we're going to rotate from one side to the other. Nice and easy. Same if you are sat down, just to get some movement through your upper body again. And then from here, you're going to drop your arms down by your side, nice straight backs, and then just leaning from side to side. Fabulous. Okay, relax there. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, don't mind which. If you sat down, keep your feet where they are. Hands to the front, just in front of your own shoulders. You're going to push away, so really extend those arms out as far as you can, and then really come back with those arms. Almost like you're trying to get your elbows as far behind you as you can, so you feel a stretch through the front of your chest, all the way forwards, all the way back, all the way forwards, all the way back, and again, forwards, back. We need to get used to this movement because we're going to be doing it a bit later on. This forms part of our press-ups. Yes, we are going to be doing press-ups today. We got it? Fabulous. Okay, just relax there. Give those shoulders a bit of a shake. And our last little bit of our warm-up for our elbows, again, same sat down as if you are stood up, just standing with your feet side by side. Pick up an imaginary football. So imagine you're holding a football. You're going to bring that football over your head and you're going to throw it. And again, so a nice sharp movement. You can build up speed a little bit, as if you're really chucking that ball many, many times overhead. This is to warm up the backs of your arms and your elbows. Get your heart rate going a little bit as well. And steady there, just give those arms a bit of a shake. How are we feeling? Okay? Right, so we're going to get on to the main part of the session, which is the strength part for our arms. You've got your weights. So if you are sat on your chair, still sat away from the back of your chair, both feet flat on the floor, weights just resting on your knees, and you're sat up nice and tall. Tuck those elbows in. Okay, so that's your start position. If you stood up, your feet are about shoulder width apart, nice and strong in the legs, tucking those arms in. Our first exercise is bicep curls. We're going to turn our weights, whether you sat down or stood up, we're going to turn our weights around so our palms are uppermost and our weights are horizontal. So count of 3, we're going to bring them up towards our shoulders, keeping those elbows tucked in, and then a count of 3, all the way down. There's 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these. Okay, here we go, up, nice and steady, and nice and slowly coming back down. That's 2, all the way up, and nice and slowly back down. 3, and again. So we're really working those biceps on the front of our arms. That's 4. And we're doing it with control as well. 5. So our muscles are getting a lovely workout right now. I think that's 6. All the way up towards those shoulders. Keep those elbows tucked in. 7. Beautiful. 8. 9. Last one. Nice and controlled. Maintain that pace. 10. Super job. Just relax there. Give those arms a bit of a shake. Biceps. As I say, that's this muscle on the front of your arm. I'm going to shift the focus now. I'm going to work around the back of the arm. So these tricep muscles around the back of the arm. Okay, and for that, we're going to do an exercise called the tricep kickback. Okay, I'm going to show you sat down first of all. Those of you who stood up, you can just take a breather. If you've got your drink, you can have a little slurp of water. So if you're sat down, you tuck your elbows in, and you're going to just lean forward slightly. Just take the weights off your knees. And what's going to happen is you're going to move those fists behind you to straighten your arms. And then you're going to bring those weights to your shoulders. So you're pushing the weights behind you. You're extending those arms. You're just going to hold it for a second. You'll feel those muscles on the backs of your arms contract. Then you bring it back to the start. You're not lifting your head up and down. And you're not swinging your arm like a steam train. The elbow stays close to your body. And it's just that arm extending behind you. Okay? If you do it, wait there just for a moment. Those of you who sat down, just hold your horses. I know you're keen. Just hold your horses. We'll do this all together. If you stood up, you've got your elbows tucked in. You've created your 90-degree angle. Those of you who are sat down, I ask you to lean forward. Same if you're stood up. You're going to just push your bum backwards. So you're just leaning over slightly, but you're keeping your back straight. So we're not rounding our backs here. We're keeping our back straight, tucking our elbows in. We've created our 90-degree angle. And like we did when we were sat down, we're going to extend our arms behind us. So they come in line with your body. Hold it for a second. You'll feel those muscles squeeze. And then you bring those weights back in front of your shoulders. We're not lifting our heads up and down. And we're not doing some sort of locomotion. All right? Here we go. So whether you sat down, stood up, with me, we're going to do 10. So we're going to get into position. Here we go. So push both arms behind you. Squeeze. Back to the start. There's 1. And again. Make sure you get that squeeze before you return to the start. Just hold it for a second. That's 3. You'll know exactly where those muscles are right now. 4. Hold it for that second. 5. Don't swing those elbows. Keep those elbows close to your body. Oh, I think that's 6. 7. 8. Come on, you can do it. 2 more. 9. Last one. I think you've got away with 1 there, but never mind. 10. Sit up or stand up and relax there. Give those arms a bit of a shake. If you want to put your weights down and give your arms a bit of a shake, please do. If you've got a drink with you, have a little slurp. You can pause the video, come back to it once you've had your little drink. I'm going to crack on anyway, because you've got the luxury of being able to pause this. Okay, so our next one, we did this movement as part of the warm-up. I called it the funky chicken. With a weight, what this particular exercise does, pop them down just a second, what this next exercise is funky chicken. It just works the very tops of your arms, so into the shoulder joint as well. So if your shoulders aren't so good, just do what you can. As always, same rules apply. Right, so we're becoming familiar with our start position. Weight in each hand. We've tucked our elbows in. Same if you're sat down. We are stood up or sat up nice and tall. I'm just going to turn side on so you can see. And what I've done is I've created that 90-degree angle again with my elbow. We're going to try and maintain that 90-degree angle whilst rotating our arms or rotating our elbows so they become the same height as your shoulders. But I've still got my 90-degree angle. Okay? And then I'm going to bring those elbows back into the side, still maintaining my 90-degree angle. Same if you sat down. It's exactly the same. Okay? We're going to do 10 of these. So postures, just want you to think about those so we're not slumping. Nice and tall with those postures. Here we go. Rotating those elbows no higher than your own shoulders. Back down with control, please. There's 1. Try and remember to count this time. 2. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. 3. Really working those shoulders now. That's 4. Beautiful. 5. Rest if you need to rest. 6. If that's enough for you today, then that's enough for you today. That's absolutely fine. 7. 8. Nice and controlled. Think of your technique. 9. 10. Super job. Give those arms a little bit of a shake. How are we doing? All right? Fabulous. Okay. So the next exercise is a curl and a reach. So we're going back to our biceps. So they're going to get another little bit of a go. And also the front of our shoulder and our chest. So this next exercise, if you imagine you're sat at a table and someone asks you to pass a jug of water, so you pick up the jug of water and you pass it across the table, that's the movement that we're going to be working on. So you define gravity on this one with the weight. If you are picking up your shopping and then putting it into the boot of the car, that reaching forward, or if you have to pick something up and put it on the shelf in your kitchen, it's that kind of movement where you're moving a load out to the front. Now that's what we're going to try and replicate here. Principles are the same whether you're stood up or sat down, exactly the same. You've got your weights, got your elbows tucked in, we've created our 90-degree angle, we're thinking about postures. So we're going to do both arms at the same time, okay? So both arms at the same time, we're going to come up towards your shoulders. Both arms at the same time, we're going to reach out no higher than your own shoulders, back into your shoulders and down. That's 1. So we're going to curl, reach, in, that's 2. Curl, reach, in, 3. Curl, reach. So this is quite a tricky one, this one. That's 4 down. We're halfway. Remember, take a breather if you need to take a breather. Always maintaining that technique. That's 6. Fabulous. 7. We're doing all right. There's 8. We've only got 2 to go. Make these your best 2. That's 9. Last one. Go for it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Beautiful. Whew. Relax there. Put your weights to one side. Okay, so we just got our final exercise and we're talking about doing these press-ups. So typically you'll know what a press-up is. You've heard of them, you've probably done them, you've probably seen people do them, and it's where people are on the floor and they're banging up and down, and it's very hard work. I'm going to modify that slightly. I'm going to do them standing up, and you'd be using a wall. So you can use a wall, you can use a door, if you know it's secure, you're not going to fall through that door. If you don't want to do this particular exercise, if you just want to watch and perhaps try it another time, that's absolutely fine because you're a little bit unsure and I frightened you a little bit with the word press up. Don't worry, okay. So when we're doing the press ups, it's an all body workout. Yes, I've talked about your arms, but also your chest and your back and your shoulders are also getting a workout. And also, if you do it correctly, your core muscles, so these muscles are going through your tummy, through your side, and into your lower back, a little bit with your bum as well, are also getting a bit of a workout. So actually doing these press-ups, or this version of press-ups, becomes quite a good all-body exercise. So I'm going to show you just from two different angles. I'll be using this door and I'll be using this door as well. You can be using a wall, something as long as it's nice and solid and you've got some faith in what you're leaning against. Your hands are going to be about the same height as your shoulders, and you're going to be placing your hands on the wall at the same height as your shoulders, just in front here. Okay, so that's going to be our start position. We're not going up here, we're not going down here, we're not got our hands too close together, and we've not gone very wide either. So when we're doing our press-ups, you want to try and stand a reasonable distance away. You don't want to be too close, otherwise you're not going to get any benefit. You don't want to be standing miles away, otherwise you're just going to make the exercise impossible, and you're going to end up hurting yourself and falling on the floor. So there's a little bit of trial and error of trying to find that Goldilocks zone, not too close, not too far away. Okay. When you are doing the press up, your body wants to be in a nice straight line. So we're not sticking our bum out and we're not collapsing our hips. If I just lean against this door just for a moment. So I'm not sticking my bum out. I'm not collapsing my hips because that's really bad for your back. You want to try and keep your body in a nice straight line. So that's where this strength here in your core muscles and in your lower back comes into play. Hands are in front of your shoulders. You're about shoulder width apart. Nice straight body. You're going to bend your elbows and you're going to push away. Doesn't matter how close you get to your wall. If you've got that little bit of a bend in your arms, you are doing the exercise correctly. We're not doing this. That's just weird. And we're not doing this. That's just going to give you a headache. All right, you ready? You with me? So nice straight postures. Hands in position. We're going to do 10 of these. If you want to do fewer, that's fine. Just take a breather when you need to take a breather. Here we go. So there's our first one. So bend those elbows and then push against your hands. That's 2 already. 3, 4. Don't collapse those hips. 5. Keep your rhythm. 6, nice and strong in your torso. 7, 8, 9, last one. 10. Whew. And relax there. Just give your arms just a little bit of a shake. Just do some circles with your wrists. And circles in the other direction. If you want to, just to relieve that pressure that you've had on your wrist, you can just push back to your hands together. Just kind of feels nice. And then just fingers in and out. How are we feeling? All right. Shoulders up and down. I'm just going to do a few little stretches because that is the hard work done with those predominantly arm exercises. But as I've hopefully explained, the other little bits of your body have had a little bit of a workout as well. Just roll those shoulders backwards for me. That should feel kind of nice. If you're doing these sat down, that is absolutely fine. Beautiful, lovely. Okay, so just relax there. So some stretches now for our upper body. And you can chill out, you can relax, you can put the kettle on, go back to the TV or whatever it is you were doing, whatever your plans are for today. So we're going to do some stretches for our shoulders. I don't mind which arm. Same applies if you sat down or stood up. You know, just reach across the front of your body. Your other hand comes from underneath, just pulling gently on the back of that elbow. Bring it in towards your body. You should just start to feel that stretch running through the backs of those shoulders. Take a breath. Relax. You've done your hard work. This is the nice, easy stuff now. Just easing out of that. Just going to try and bring your heart rate down as well. Your other arm, please, across the front of your body, onto your elbow. And again, just gently pulling in. Super job. And relax there. One hand in front of the other. You're just going to push both hands out to the front You push both hands out to the front. You just got a little bit of a round in the top of your back, just to stretch through that upper back. And we're just going to pull back, hands onto the small of your back, pull back on your shoulders, and press your chest out. I'm going to do that again. So rolling forwards, and then pulling back, chest out. One more time for me. Pushing away, and pulling back. Fabulous. Just relax there. So, just a little bit of a twist. Just going to take one hand, just put it across onto your hip, hold onto the small of your back, and then just pull yourself around. If you're doing this sat down, you can use the chair as a lever. You can use your knee as a lever, just to pull yourself around. Just as long as you're keeping that back nice and tall. We're not slouching. We'll come back to the centre. I'm just going to do the other side. So just coming round, keep that back nice and long as you rotate round in the other direction. Fabulous. And then just coming back to the centre. Just a couple of little stretches for our neck. Big fan of doing neck stretches. So just think about your posture just for these final few little neck stretches. Sitting up nice and tall or standing up nice and tall. You're going to turn your head nice round to look over your shoulder. Remember, you're just moving your head. You're not moving your shoulders or your waist. Just coming back to the centre, all the way around to look over your other shoulder. And back to the centre. You can gently now just tilt your head across to your shoulder. You're not lifting your shoulder. You want your head to fall gently across and back up, across to the other side. And back up. This time, chin to chest. Feel that stretch through the back of your neck. And gently lifting up, up towards the ceiling. Back down. And finally, gently now rolling that head around. Nice and gently. And then very gently back round in the other direction. And relax there. Just give your hands, your arms, just one final little shake. Fabulous. So your arms, shoulders might be achy over the next few days because of those exercises you've just done. That is normal. That's a normal reaction to doing some exercises, especially those types of exercises. Do you know what? The weights that you've used today might be quite challenging. You might not have managed 10 of each. You might have only managed 6 or 7. Good on you for persisting, especially, as I say, if you're using challenging weights. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Remember, if it's not for you and you just wanted to do sort of parts of that or just pick out 2 of those particular exercises that you like to do, then give it a go. You don't need to do everything that I ask you to do. You don't need to do as many as I ask you to do. But as I say, hopefully you enjoyed them and you found them beneficial. Take care. Hopefully I'll be seeing you all again soon. Take care of yourselves.